One of the strangest and most interesting things about doing videos and writing is it's a form of transmutation. The sort of exhibitionism of it acts as a sort of alchemical process. It's quite fascinating. At various points in my life I've considered suicide. And not even over, petty teenage angst. I've been through that. We've all been through that. Don't pretend you haven't. Maybe not to that extent, but we've all been through that edgy phase. But no, over my deformity, and I don't want to do this as a call for attention. I don't want your pity or sympathy. And if I see any single fucking comment underneath saying, "Oh, I feel so sorry for you," I want you to know that you should fucking kill yourself. Let's be honest. But there you go. I don't even know if I'll put this on the internet because it will seem crass, won't it? It will seem attention seeking, and I'm not doing it for that reason. But the reason I bring it up is due to the immense frustration it gives me. I know I will always be weak. I mean, physically I'm quite strong. I have a very good physique. I'm a little bit chubby as it is. But that's only because I comfort eat. But I'm not massively overweight at all. I'm quite fit, I'm very strong. But it doesn't matter what I do with myself. I will always be incomplete. I will always be broken. I will always be sickly, impure. In any other age, I probably would have been left to die at birth. Or at least in certain situations. I will always be dependent upon other people for my own safety. I can never be my own man, basically. I can never defend myself properly in a fight, for example. And that's not really considering psychological factors there. More problems I have. But nevertheless, yeah, I've considered suicide over this deformity many times, and those thoughts continue to linger. I haven't acted upon it. I have tried, but I haven't acted upon it properly, just simply due to how selfish such an action is, and how self-absorbed and egotistical it is. It seems rather, well, it doesn't sit straight with me. It's incredibly improper and distasteful. But a friend of mine, James, I'll link his blog in the description. One of the most interesting things he said to me was about this topic. He brought up the example of his father, who was a chess master, and he would often play against other people with chess missing one of his pieces, and he'd still win. Now, I've considered how I might undergo kind of transmuting my predicament and what it might mean. I tried to see it in the way James describes, allegorically, of course. And I think to a degree there's some truth to that. But maybe I will be sold with it in time, but not now. Yes, it's kind of strange. Whenever I look down, whenever I notice it, and as I've grown older and grown taller, etc., it's become more noticeable. And whenever I see myself in the mirror, or I look down even, just now glancing downwards, it's just frustration. And anger isn't the right word, but annoyance at the situation, because I don't feel like it isn't a reflection of my character, isn't it? It isn't a reflection of my mind and of my spirit. So what does it reflect? What does it mean? What implications does it have? Why? And this is the sort of thing I tackle with quite often. I'm not willing to just accept it, because of what it represents symbolically, and how that doesn't sit right with the rest of my character. It's a total imbalance, and that doesn't appeal to me. That doesn't speak to me. That doesn't sit well with me. I can't just accept it. It's such a coarse vulgarity. Even my right hand is kind of fucked. If you see my thumb there, you won't see it on the recording. But see my thumb there, I don't even have a proper thumb. All my fingers are all fucking bent as well. It's just my hands. The doing things, the things which allow me to do things, to defend myself. That's the most shameful part. And it is shameful. I can never be a man. I can never fight. I can never defend myself. I could be killed very easily. I would have a hard time defending someone else. For example, I could never be a protector or a defender in that sense, in the proper sense, in the realist sense. I can't even work out properly. I can't lift, for example. I can on the right side, but there's already asymmetry in my torso enough regarding some vertebrae, as well as my back muscles. My back on the right side is much more developed than on the left. I can feel it where the muscle differentiation is. So I'd rather not become too, like what are those crabs with the pincers? One's really big and one's really small. I'd rather not end up looking like that if I can help it. I'd try and have some symmetry there. What does symmetry represent? It represents order, doesn't it? Sense, health, completeness, wholeness. And I can never attain that. At least not bodily, physically. But my body can never ever be a reflection of my mind, can it? It can never be a reflection of my character, of my spirit. It can never be a vessel in a proper sense. And that's what makes it so frustrating. We're going on nearly 8 minutes now. I didn't really know what the point of this video was. Like I said at the start, I think you just have to say these things. They have to be put out there. At least for me, anyway. Doing this video, doing the writing, doing all the rest of it, it can come off sometimes as pretentious and as inappropriate, but it serves an end in and of itself in the process of doing it. Like I said, exhibitionism, and not in the crude sense. Sexual exhibitionists should be fucking shot, but in the sense of an alchemical practice, whereby negative energies, emotions, that lower state of being is sort of overcome, is sort of transcended. And for me, doing these sorts of things assists in that, because it relates my own personal petty predicaments to a broader perspective, from the minds of other people, from the minds of brighter men than I. As I mentioned James and his words. So it's kind of then it becomes a valuable process with an end goal in mind, or an end state, or an idealized state of affairs, in so much as somewhere above where you are now. I'll leave it at that.